Hi everyone. I am actually refilming this because the timer went off on my phone in the middle. It's been a while since I filmed. I've been very busy with life. I was very sick for a little bit. We're all good now. I think today's like my full day back. I was able to go to the gym. I was able to like actually function and think. And yeah, I feel a lot better and I feel like I can be back on track with this stuff. Coaching has been making me very busy, but also very good in its own ways. I also got my finger jammed in a door, in a car door. Nothing's broken, thankfully. Got it checked out, got it x-rayed, and it's all good. So I'm very thankful that it's not any worse, just a little swollen. It's just a few days ago, so it's gonna take a while for all that to go down and then for, the nail itself to recover. So, but all in its good time. It's a good reminder for me to be like, I need to slow down a little bit. And this summer I will. I'm already feeling it today. My kids are both like don't have anything. So like I can take the mornings a lot slower. I'm just gonna take I think these few weeks just like let us do our thing and then kind of pick up activities from then on. Like we'll have like classes here and there, but nothing huge. So looking forward to that change of pace. I was gonna do a get ready with me type thing. I'm gonna get ready for coaching. As you can see, I have a little friend here. I already covered up with a little something, but I think it could use a little bit more help. And then, but yeah, I really keep it simple for coaching. So I was going to maybe show you that. I think it's also going to go hand in hand with an update on my condensed makeup palette. And then I also didn't unpack my makeup bag from when I was coaching slash performing at a competition. So I was like, since it's all here, I might able to show you kind of the key highlights that I have in here. It's really a mishmash of stuff. It's not just makeup. So I thought I would at least some of the things that I have in here for emergencies and stuff like that too. Okay, so the first main like thing that is changed in my makeup collection is that I have emptied out this bottle. There's still little remnants. You can see some windowing in there, but honestly, I'm done. Like all the packaging has worn off other than the, oh, it's starting to wear off too. Other than like the markers, this is quite a large bottle. This is at least like a 50 to 60 ml bottle. So if I really want to refill this with something, it could definitely hold a lot, but it's just like tough to like refill and stuff with the topper. And then, but I put the rest of that in here. It's quite a light shade. I put a little bit on this cheek. If you can't tell, this cheek is brighter than this cheek. And I've already started to tan for the summer and I'll be in an outdoor pool starting next week. So I feel like I should just save this for the fall slash winter when I cool back down. Because I did actually pick up a little bit of a darker shade at the CCO. Just went there yesterday. It was like, I just got like a few hours to myself. I was like, what do I do? And I was kind of close to the CCO. It's actually not that close in my area, but I was closer than I normally would be. So I was like, let me run down and just see. But I picked this Clinique Beyond Perfecting Foundation. I already dented the cap because I dropped it in the store. I didn't even notice till now, but I'm like, that makes sense. It was 10 bucks. It was 10 bucks for this. I don't know if they're discontinuing this at all. I grabbed the shade 6.75 Sesame. I think it looks like WN. So I guess it's a warm neutral, which would make sense for me because I am, as an Asian, a little bit more warm, but I'm also not super yellow warm. Sometimes I've been, especially when I'm cooler, I can pull off cooler pinkier tones, and actually those look better on me, I feel like. So I'm kind of a weird, like, go back and forth. So, but definitely in the summer, I am warmer, that's for sure. But I was like the crazy one in the store, like swatching it on my collarbone and like all this stuff. But I feel like this is a pretty good shade match, especially for like a $10 one. Yeah, let me show you. I have to apply a little bit anyways. Dot it on there. But yeah, see how that like almost disappears? Is it just me? It's pretty decent, right? Especially with color matching in the store. I mean, that's how you should do it. But yeah, this is the one that's supposed to be a joint like foundation and concealer. These doe foots have always freaked me out a little bit. But I was like, for 10 bucks, I think I'm just gonna do it. And then I'll do my weird Franken stuff a little bit later. But I'm also the type of makeup user, and it honestly might not be sticking on there very good because I was just picking at it. But let me dot this all over my face and I'll just apply it. But honestly, like, especially in the summer and when I'm at the pool so much, I'm just not going to be using it that much. But yeah, I'll just do everything with my fingers today. And yeah, I don't know. I've been using a different sunscreen. I don't have it right in front of me, so I can't show you. It was one that I got in the FabFitFun box. And that one has like legitimate sparkles in it. I'm like, this is so unnecessary. So when I put it on my body, it's like, I just feel like I'm like a vampire. I mean, other than it literally concealing everything that is that all over my face, so I look a little bit paler in that sense. But honestly, I feel like it's a pretty decent match. Like, I'm very impressed with myself because I rarely get a good match, and then I'm like going crazy. I was thinking of getting like a darker foundation sample to mix with this so that I could match it better, but honestly, having a full ounce of like basically a concealer, it's gonna be a lot to work through. But here I am again, sticking myself in a situation which I totally didn't really need to, but that's fine. Okay, so in terms of my condensed makeup palette, I actually haven't been reaching for my cream products all that much, and I don't think I will either, just today, just like for accuracy to what I usually do. But let me, I always need to feel like I need to take stuff out. Okay, I'm trying to hold it in a way that things won't fall out. So I always keep this sheet in here to separate the powder products. Basically I mix, I've also only been like using one brush for all my face stuff, which is so unlike me because I have a whole arsenal, but I've just been like so low key lately. So I basically mix these two as a bronzer now. And which is funny because for a long time I've been complaining about my bronzer in my collection, the one from MAC, which is in super pretty packaging. But I just like couldn't figure out, but now I'm just mixing the two together. I just kind of get it on the perimeters of my face and it is good enough for me. Sometimes I pop on the eye primer that I have in here, but other days I don't. So I've just been using that gem shade that's down here, and it's in one of my projects right now. So I'm glad I've been using it more. It's just so pretty. It's such a subtle color. I don't think you'll pick it up on camera, but it has like this sort of like pink gold reflex to it that makes it super interesting. And like just interesting enough for me to really, really enjoy. And I totally just picked up the wrong color, which is fine. And so that's been really enjoyable for me. That's just the kind of makeup user I am. I'd rather use kind of a boring but interesting shade than like really bold. I think those are the ones I gravitate towards. And then sometimes I'll pull for this taupey shade over here. Like, why do I have blue on my finger? It's because I made a cake with my daughter today and she ate the whole thing. I promise it wasn't a big cake. It was just a mini cake, but I let her decorate it and we used blue icing. And it was really fun. She's getting really, really good at it. And I like pulled up a recipe that would only use 1 egg because I didn't want to make a huge cake. So between me and her, we ate the whole thing. Okay, so from here, I think that's pretty much all I use from this palette. I mean, I grabbed the lip liner that's in here. I'll show you my little lip routine. And I'm also have a little bit of like face powder in here, so I might pop some of that on. And I just sometimes do it with my finger, just in the spots that I feel like could use a little bit of like blurring. And it's honestly just worked just fine. Like, I think for a long time I was really, really concerned that I needed to use a face powder or a face powder brush with face powder, and now I'm just like, I don't think I need to. Sorry, I have like a mirror right behind the phone here, so not too bad. Not too bad. Okay, all right, let's do the lip thing. So line my lips. This one's almost in, needs to be sharpened, but I'm glad I kept this shade around because it's starting to fit me better now that I'm tanner. I don't think that crossed my mind. I was like, it just looks really brown. But now that I'm tanner, I'm like, oh, it actually like fits just fine. So I've actually been using my clear lipstick. As you can see, it's actually been whittled down quite a bit. There's the word MAC is engraved on here, M on the bottom, AC. And I've already worn down the C, so now I'm down to the A. So it means I'm making progress. And they advertise this as like, more like a lipstick, like a lip liner topper type of thing. But for me, I just use it to just kind of cool things down. I've been using also this shade a lot in my collection. This is the warmer of my two lipstick shades. Also the more, it's pretty pigmented in my opinion. Not the most pigmented lipstick ever out there, but pigmented for me. And now that I'm warmer, I feel like I can pull this off a little bit better, but sometimes it still pulls like kind of orange on me. So I'm at like that point of the year where I'm like right in between. I'm like, I don't know what shades work for me anymore. Okay, another exciting thing I got actually is a mascara fixer. I was not super happy with how this Essence, call me queen. Clearly it one's out. Call Me Queen, not foundation, mascara. It was still smudging by the end of the day. Of course, I'm like at the pool, swimming, sweating, whatever. So I was like, why don't I just get a mascara fixer and just use it as a mascara? Also, I use such a thin amount of mascara. I'm like, I think a mascara fixer would be just fine anyways. So let me grab, I do not have my other one. I have my typical, gotta sanitize the, what is it called? Eyelash curler. Oh my goodness, I'm losing all my words. That's how behind I am on all my makeup stuff. Don't even know the words, but, ooh, that feels weird on my thumb. Gotta be careful with that. So curl the lashes. I have not done anything with my brows lately. That's probably why they look so crazy, but I'm just gonna run with it. I might brush something through them now that I'm on camera, but honestly, probably people at the pool are gonna be like, why do you have so much makeup on today? I actually, when I first started my job, I was putting on a little bit more makeup because I was like, I wanna look good for this job, and then it just devolved into like, I just need to get to the pool. Especially if I'm like giving my kids dinner right before, but that's not the case tonight. I have some time. See, I feel like this gives just enough definition. And I was wondering if this would make my eyes water, especially when I got it wet. And like, you know, just like the random, like even if it would fix my mascara, it doesn't mean that like some stuff would come off, especially if I'm swimming or performing in the water without any goggles. And I did feel like at some point my eyes felt a little bit sensitive, but I also use these eye drops now when I'm performing, these gel ones. And I feel like that does help like have a film over my eyes. So like if stuff does get in, it's not bothered. I'm not as bothered by it. I also don't have I'm also not in the water without goggles for very long. So I feel like it's just enough time for it to not bother me. Then I'm back out of the pool and already done or whatever. So, but yeah. I think that's just enough definition for me. And this is just a mascara fixer. And so honestly, I'm really happy with this solution for myself, especially because you've seen how I've cocktailed mascara bottles and brushes for a very long time now. I think for a little over a year. But if a mascara fixer is already such a thin formula, and already comes off on the brush in a very thin fashion, then like, you know, I feel like this is just fine for me. Of course, it's harder for me to get my hands on a mascara fixer. And if I keep dipping it back in like this, I think the 6-month mark is pretty much where I would stop usage. So I would definitely need to repurchase this a little bit more, but especially with how I use makeup now, it's like sometimes I just need it for the convenience. Okay, so mascara fixers, that was one thing that was in my makeup bag. And I feel like my face is almost done. I feel a little powdery, so let me put on some setting spray. I don't usually do this anymore, but because I put more makeup on than usual, I have a little bit left in this bottle. Honestly, I'm going through it so slowly, I haven't even picked up another one. Okay, let's quickly go through the contents of whatever else was in here. You already saw the mascara fixer, the eyelash curler, and this alcohol bottle. I always need to have this around. I also did I bring my condensed makeup? No, I did not bring my condensed makeup palette on this trip. I was going to, and then I forgot. I still survived, so I'm okay. Okay, so in terms of the makeup stuff that was in here, eyeshadow palette. So that's very versatile. I think I had on like, I like a blue headpiece on, and so I ended up using like these two together to kind of deepen that up. So it was fun. And then, gosh, that's like the main thing. I had like a lip liner in here. Oh, and actually I didn't end up using this. For some reason I brought a lip tint, which I haven't used that much. I should probably put that back into my regular rotation so I can remember to do that. I did bring this lip liner. I think I maybe use it for a competition. That's about it. I'm also using this as an excuse to put everything back in its place. I did dip into my lipstick graveyard. I used a very darkest shade in there. I had to touch it up a few times maybe, and I would blot between so that it was a kind of a thin layer and would stay a little bit better. I did use my Aqua Seal on the trip. I used it specifically for the lips, and I think I also dabbed over my eyes. And both of them I ended up having to touch up anyways because I was like, I already had the makeup on for a few hours, so I don't really know. I mean, I feel like it helped seal in like it as a base and didn't allow it to wear off as quickly, but when I have to perform, and I had to just kind of like reapply. Okay, Other than that, oh, my mascara fixer was still in here, so let's put that in there. I brought my brush cleanser, like in terms of like the foam ones, if you know, the ones where you can like clean off any like powder products. So I didn't really have to use this. I brought it just in case I had to like do multiple girls' makeups, and I just never was in that situation. Each of the squads had their, you know, the moms would do and stuff like that. I brought scissors just in case. I brought KT tape because I have an injury that tends sometimes need for me to do that. I have a bit of a napkin type thing. Face powder. I know MAC just came out with the new formulation, but I don't know if I'll pick that up anytime soon. So I can actually pop that in. I wonder, I feel like this shade might even be a little too light for me right now. I was looking at some new shades, possibly at the CCO, but I didn't pick any up just yet. And then a smattering of brushes. I even brought my Panoply dies. I actually needed to film that right after this, so that's gonna stay out. And then the last but not least is some cleansing wipes. I just made this by myself. I just had some like cotton sheets and I cut it up a little bit and I put in my cleansing oil to and kind of just was just soaking in here. So it's just literally just makeup wipes in here, and I might actually put this into my regular rotation just in case I need them from time to time, especially as my kids get into their makeup. I don't let them touch my makeup, but again, if they get into their makeup and need me to wipe it off, then I can do that. But yeah, I am very excited to actually have some of these brushes and stuff back in my regular rotation because I was missing them very much and just for some reason could not bring myself to put them back. But otherwise, I think most everything else is good to go. Okay, well, that's that. I think the last thing to update you on is what else I bought at the CCO. Just one other thing. This Tiger Balm cream, Tiger Grass cream, sorry, from Makeup Pair from Dr. Jart. And this was 25 bucks. I think retail's around 50 is what they said. And so I was like, 25 isn't bad. It's good quality. Right now I'm working through this L'Oreal cream. I'm maybe like a third of the way through. I mean, I'm going through it pretty slow, but I don't have another backup moisturizer, and to have a good quality backup moisturizer, I'm not mad about it. So yeah, new foundation, new this one, and new mascara fixer. I think those are the main three things. And so I'm really glad that my current like purchasing habits honestly haven't been that bad. I've been really slow. I think just also realizing that I am barely reaching for makeup condensed kit. I'm barely reaching for my makeup in general this season of my life. And, you know, it's really just for when I have performances or when I feel like putting something on that I really do that. And so I'm hoping that I can keep it at bay. I feel like I really didn't need this foundation. I probably could have just gotten that sample, but it is nice to have something that I feel like matches me, even though it's probably only gonna be for a week as soon as I get a little bit darker, but it's a little something, especially because I put on mineral sunscreen that already lightens me to begin with. So to have something like this, and then of course I'll just like put on some bronzer. And I've actually surprised myself in terms of reaching for a few things because sometimes I didn't have my condensed makeup kit nearby, or I didn't have some of my other ones. So I've just been like reaching for things kind of randomly, and it's kind of been refreshing in that way to experience my makeup collection that way. So in terms of the future for this channel in particular, I think I'm going to wrap up a few projects just so that I don't feel like I have to be filming or I have to be on top of something. And I honestly wonder if I should really wrap up all of the ones with the monthly updates so I don't feel as pressured. Although coming into summer break now, I won't be coaching as much. So I will have the time to think about it and things like that. But I think I need to think about that a little bit more in terms of how I will organize things. But at least these past few months have been a lot less time for filming and for makeup and things like that. But something could change over the summer. So I think I might just take it month by month and see where I'm at. So I'm really sorry if there's not as many updates as you've seen from me previously. I'll do my best to like be posting regularly in terms of batch filming and then posting and like giving myself that kind of time. But you know, life, it just tends to get in the way sometimes. So thank you for being so gracious. I hope that you will still, you know, be enjoying your own makeup journey and hoping that you're still successful in your painting journey. I think that's like the main goal that I have for myself and for everybody, even whether or not you watch my videos, whether or not I'm posting, is that we're all still doing our best to stay on task, stay on goal, don't slip up, and just like know that there's bigger things out there for us in our makeup journeys that, you know, it's not just not buying something, it's not just not using something, it's not just trying to hit pan or whatever, but it's actually really being able to enjoy life, enjoy our makeup collection, enjoy ourselves. So anyways, I think that's enough for this video. I'll see you in my next one.